The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has submitted an interim report in preparation for the next phase of the easing of the lockdown on the country. And while it celebrated the discharge of 10,000 virus-free patients on Tuesday, the committee says the country is not yet out of the woods. Taya Modu reports.
Things seem to be looking up in Nigeria. Over 11,000 patients were discharged on Tuesday after being declared free of the coronavirus. The chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and his team come into the presidential villa to present an interim report on the state of things to President Buhari. There is a spring in his steps on his way back. He has received a pat on the back from his principal. But he warns while briefing State House correspondents that while things are looking up, it is not yet time for Nigerians to be complacent. What has the task force the most worried is the lack of enforcement of safety protocols by citizens, and it wants state governments to do more in this direction if the curve of the infection must be totally flattened.
The federal government doesn't have any mobile court. It's the responsibilities of the subnationals, and most of them have signed the quarantine laws in their states. And within those quarantine laws, where they have prescribed penalties for appearing in public spaces without masks, there is a sanction. It's the enforcement that has largely been lacking. And my appeal is that the subnationals should ensure enforcement. As a matter of fact,
the task force chairman does not disclose the content of the interim report, but explains areas of focus are movement, labor and industries, and community activities. The task force is careful about opening up the economy gradually in order not to risk an escalation in number of infections. Nigeria has done relatively well, increasing testing centers from 2 to 16 31 states, plus the Federal Capital Territory. The Presidential Task Force believes that this signifies that the reconstruction of the country's health infrastructure has begun. It says it will work hard to ensure that the entire nation is covered with testing facilities by this month. Tai Amodu, TVC News, Abuja.